Welcome back everyone, I'm Kylie the Curly Crafter and I am super excited for today's video because today we will actually be doing 3 super awesome Easter DIYs. The cool thing about these DIYs is they look super high-end and are perfect for any Easter decor. You can completely customize all the colors for all the DIYs I'm going to do and they just look so amazing in my opinion. They definitely brought my Easter to another level this year. And if you guys are excited to do 3 amazing Easter DIYs with me, then stay tuned in this video and let's get started. So the first DIY in this video, we will actually be doing a fake pottery makeover to this glass jar that I got originally for $16.99 at Hobby Lobby. I know I definitely got it on sale for like probably $5. And then you will also need some Crayola Model Magic clay as well as an extruder. We are going to start off by just taking a paper towel and dusting off the vase to make sure that it is somewhat clean for when we begin working on it. And then to prep the clay, you are just going to want to knead it in your hands so that it is nice and pliable and easy to work with. If you were wondering, I purchased my extruder from Amazon and I will make sure to leave you guys a link to it down below. As you can see, the piece I was just holding was a little silver kind of disc that had holes in it. This extruder comes with a bunch of attachments that you use inside of the cap that when you twist the clay through it, it will pipe out different types of patterns or designs and thicknesses. But this time around, I decided to completely leave out the silver disc and just put the cap on without any of the silver pieces in it, so that when I put the clay inside of the tube and kind of spin it out, it will be like a nice thick spaghetti noodle. At least that's the best way I can describe it. So as you can see here, I'm just going to fill up the tube, then I'm going to close the other end and kind of twist it around, spilling out my long string. I'm going to be using these to decorate all around the edges of the jar, so I'm just going to kind of pipe it out till I have the right length for the height of the base part of my jar, and then I'm just going to trim that with some shears and repeat that process for about as many as you need to space them an inch apart all the way around your jar. I believe I used probably 10 of them or maybe a little bit more. And then I'm also going to use my hands and roll out some more of the Model Magic because I'm going to decorate or put a trim on the top of the jar, as well as one around the bottom of the jar and kind of the top rim of the jar where it kind of shrinks down at the top. You will see what I mean, but I'm just going to roll out a bunch of long other pieces of the clay as well. Once you have all of your pieces rolled out, you can see here that I kind of just have the bottom and top rim already sitting on the jar because they can rest there super safely. And then I plugged in my hot glue gun because I'm going to go around with my other type of spaghetti noodle type pieces of clay and kind of just hot glue them onto the jar as of now, spacing them out about an inch apart. I like to do one in the back, one in the front, and one on both sides, so you kind of divide it into 4 quarters, and then it makes it easier to space it out if you needed help with that part of it. And then I'm going to use my last long spaghetti noodle type of piece of clay and wrap it around the top, resting on top of the other pieces of clay. As you can see what I'm doing here, and just kind of securing it with some more hot glue. Once all of your clay is in place and secured on the jar, I kind of let it just sit there and let the clay dry out for about 2 days, and then you can go in with some lightweight spackle, which is what I decided to do to kind of like clean the edges. I just used my finger to apply the spackle, pressing it in between all the crevices between the clay and the jar, just kind of to make it more seamless and more like it's one piece. This, in my opinion, just completely finishes the product and adds a whole nother type of texture to it and makes it look much more like pottery. Again, if it wasn't like one seamless piece, it wouldn't look like it's meant to be put together, so definitely make sure you fill in all of the cracks like I am doing here. I really like this technique for the jar because, again, instead of a basic old plain glass jar, I am going to do like a fake pottery wainscoting jar, which will be super cute with some fake roses. Once all the nooks and crannies are filled, you're going to want to let it dry for 24 to 48 hours, and then we are going to paint it. But into the paint, we are going to mix some pure baking soda to give it, again, more of that pottery texture. And then we will be using the lavender and lilac mist paint from Apple Barrel. I really like using the Apple Barrel paint with the baking soda because it mixes really nice. So essentially all we are going to do is mix the two shades of purple to get our perfect match of purple. You can do any color. I am going to say in the future I went and spray painted it to match my room a little bit better, but as of now I'm just going to mix the purple paint and baking soda together and then apply it onto the base of the jar. I don't think there's really a specific ratio that you have to do of the baking soda and paint. I just kind of mixed about half and half, or maybe even a little bit more baking soda. I don't think it will hurt depending on the amount that you add in. All I know is the more baking soda you add, the more textured it will be. And then once you are finished painting your jar, just let it dry and do a couple of coats and then you will be ready to decorate. But for me, I decided to go in with this really cool smoky beige type of satin spray paint and spray paint my jar because the more neutral color just matched my room a little bit better in my opinion. But I decided to do purple for the video for the sake of Easter and I thought it would be super cute. And again, it is adorable no matter what color it is. I'm just going to spray paint mine beige. Also, if you were wondering, I just decided to style the viral TikTok white roses inside the vase, and I will make sure to link them down in the description as well if you'd like to use the same. They turned out so adorable. Now we are going to move on to the second and my favorite DIY of the video. I got this 24 by 30 inch canvas. It actually came in a 2-pack, so I have one saved for a future video. But as of now, I'm just going to use one of them and we are going to paint a really cool textured flower garden, kind of like with a sunset background, so I am super excited. This is my first time using textured paste, and if you guys have any tips, leave them down below. Basically, I just went in with some classic caramel, light mocha, and antique white paint from Apple Barrel and kind of did like an ombre design on the background of the canvas just to give it a nice beige base to work off of. Now let's run through the materials and type of tools that you will need for the textured painting. First things first, I got these nice wooden type of spatulas or painting knives from Amazon. Again, everything I'm about to show you will be linked down below. But this is a really cool variety pack that had a bunch of spatulas so I could do a bunch of different size petals, and I really like the quality of them and their nice wood handles. I also used this textured paste, which I believe they don't sell in the US, so I had to buy online. I purchased mine from walmart.com, and this is the brand. I can't really pronounce it. You need 4 jars though. Well, realistically, I bought 4 jars because that's what I expected I need, but I only really used about 1 jar, maybe even a little of the second. And then I used some spackle and make sure that it says or specifies that it won't crack, because I heard people say that if it says it won't crack, then it's most likely to have no cracks when you are finished with your piece, and I got 2 of those. I used about 1 jar, maybe even a little bit more. And then also from Amazon, I got this really nice quality of acrylic paints to mix in with my textured paste for painting. These aren't really specifically pastel colors, but I just kind of mixed different ratios to get the colors that I wanted. And yes, everything will be down below if you want to shop everything that I have. And then let's get painting. So for the ambiance on the top of my painting, or the pinkish sky, I'm going to use these shades from Apple Barrel and kind of do like a gradient at the top. I'm going to start by kind of stippling a mixture of the pink and antique parchment together and kind of dry brushing that, starting from more of the outsides of the canvas and kind of stroking inward and outward to blend the pink tones into the beige tones. And then I'm going to mirror that on the other side so I can create like a sunset design as if the sun was in the center of the canvas. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the other colors, just the next one inside of the pink will be an orange tone, and then inside of the orange I'm going to blend in some yellow. So once you are done blending your colors for the sky, I'm also going to add 2 faint clouds. So I'm just going to take some white paint and stipple most of the paint off of the brush so it is mostly dry. Then use that brush and stipple it onto the painting kind of in like circular motions, almost as like white little hills, and then just do that all the way around, kind of forming the shape of a few clouds. And then once I have a few clouds, I'm going to show you how we are going to add the flowers onto the bottom of the canvas to create our flower field. Again, since this is my first time working with the painting, I'm still experimenting, and I did a bunch of different ratios for mixtures, so I'm not quite sure which ratio is the right way, but majority of the time I did like a 40-60 ratio. About 40% of the mixture was some of this textured paste, and the other 60% was the no cracking spackle, and then just a little bit of paint was the mixture that I chose to go with. So I'm just going to mix this all together, and then we are going to start using the spatulas and painting them onto the canvas. Also, if you notice the green strokes on the canvas right now, I'm going to talk about that real quick. I kind of essentially added those strokes in essence to being like blades of grass, but they didn't really turn out too good, and I recommend you don't play around with blades of grass. If anything, I wish I left it beige because they kind of show through on the painting and don't give it the best effect. It kind of just looks like blotchy green. As for if you did want green behind there, I just recommend painting it like a solid green and then like ombreing it into the beige and make sure that you cover it with flowers. And yeah, so now I'm just going to mix some of the paint and put that in our textured paste. And then we can use the knives and start using it to apply onto the canvas, making all of our petals and flowers. As for this step, I don't really have many tips at the moment. I'm still new to working with this material, and basically there's no rhyme or reason. I was just going around creating a bunch of different flowers with a bunch of different colored texture paste, and in the end it all turned out amazing. So I definitely believe that you can do a really cool flower pattern as well. I will speed up some of my process of making these flowers to better give you guys an idea. The only tip I can really think of is what I'm showing you here. If you do 4 petals kind of like in the opposite direction, kind of dividing 4 quarters so that you can better easily kind of separate or space down all of your different petals. What I'm working on right now are actually sunflowers, that's why I'm using the yellow. And then as for the center of the flowers, I just did the same ratio mixture of texture paste, spackle, and type of paint, and then I just kind of used a spatula to spread it on the inside of the flower. Again, not really a purpose, rhyme, or reason. And then I just kind of used the spatula to kind of like dab it to give it more texture, but this is technically how it all has been coming out so far, and I love all the petals and flowers I've been working on. So yeah, here's just a little speed through of how things went. Actually, there is one more tip that I can think of. I decided to do this painting on a canvas, but as you can tell, canvases are flexible, so the wiggle room on the canvas probably is the reason for some of the cracks to form in my paint, so I recommend doing it on like a piece of wood rather than a canvas. And I thought I'd show you this little color combination for the flowers because I thought it was really pretty. I used like a mixture of like green and blue, and I also added a touch of yellow into it to create like this really pretty like mint color textured paste. And I absolutely love how the painting is coming out so far. So I'm just going to finish up adding in some flowers, and then I'm going to fill in any little open areas with some green paste, but I'm not going to create like flowers. I'm going to do the same petals I've been doing for the flowers, but they're not going to be connected in like the form of a flower. So it's just going to be like a bunch of green petals all over in between the flowers, and they look like leaves. So all in the end it worked out, and I absolutely love this painting because on my wall I'm going to hang an LED light over it and put it on like a warm tone, so it'll be literally like a sunset flower field, and this is how it turned out. So this last DIY I seen on TikTok, and it is super trendy. It's kind of like heating up candlesticks and making them twisty. So from Hobby Lobby I picked up these candlesticks for like $1.99, and I got them on sale for like 50% off, so they were super cheap. I am going to say though, this is like the easiest DIY project in this video, and somehow it's the only one that I messed up on, like quite miserably. So basically all you do is you get super warm water, like almost boiling but not really boiling because you don't want your wax to melt, but like the hottest water that your tap can go is what I did, and you fill up a container and then you put the candlesticks in there for 10 to 15 minutes, and while that's in there kind of soaking, I'm going to show you these really cool candle holders. They are a dupe for the Anthropology candle holders, which are like $45, but they're from Ross for like $5.99 or $6.99, and they're like this super cool glass plastic material bubble candlestick holder. I mean, they are to die for. They are so cute, and they have so many other colors too. I even think they have like a burnt orange. But as I was saying, this is like a trendy type of thing, and I've seen people do it so well, but somehow every time I tried twisting the wax, it kind of like broke in half on me and snapped, which I'm super sad about. But essentially in all the tutorials I've seen on TikTok, you just kind of warm up the wax for like 10 to 15 minutes in the water, and then you roll it flat a little bit, which is what I did, and then I put it back in the water just to warm up a little bit, and then you're supposed to like slowly twist it, creating like this candle twist type of aesthetic, and it is so gorgeous. And I was really hoping to get these finished and look right so I could have the yellow, the pink, and the purple, but again they kept snapping, so it didn't work out in the end. And I tried it again with the white because I was like, these have to work, but those didn't work out either. So if you guys have any tips for this as well, also leave that down in the comment section. So this is how my version of the twisted candles came out. They didn't really turn out too well, and in my opinion they look more Halloween than Easter, kind of like crooked witch fingers or something, which is definitely not what we're going for. So this was a failed DIY. I'm just going to take these out and show you what I got instead. Buy ugly candles. As an alternative on Amazon, I actually got these battery operated LED candlesticks that have the twisted vibe I was going for. So I will leave a link in the description for you guys if you're interested in these as well. And in my opinion, these look so much better than my fake twisted candles. So I'll also be able to light them all night or however long I want to, and I won't have to worry about catching fires or any wax melting on my decor. So this is the perfect option for me. I absolutely love how all of my Easter DIYs came out, at least the two that worked out for me. Needless to say, they all look perfect for Easter and really brought my decor to a whole nother level this year. And if you like it, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below. Let me know what other videos you guys want to see in the future. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye everyone!